Welcome to Classic Australian Touring Car Crashes, the early V8 years 1993 to 1996. There have been some memorable racing moments in the rich history of the Australian Touring Car Championship, and also lots and lots of crashes. There were plenty of crashes when they introduced the V8 supercars in 1993. If the fans were the winners, as they got to see some very hard racing, the panel beaters were a close second, judging by the wrecked cars that were typically strewn around the circuit at the end of the races. Relive the early years of V8 supercars and the moments when the legends of Australian touring car racing were, well, just a little bit less than legendary. Some would say you're asking for trouble putting 30 or more of Australia's top racing drivers on the grid in 600 horsepower V8 supercars. And they'd be right. The starts in V8s are colourful and spectacular, sometimes just a little bit too spectacular.
Who will win the race to the first turn? I tell you what, it might well be the Rainmaster, Jimmy Richards, who gets off at Crompton, down the inside of Scaife, and John Bowe the outside. They've shuffled him out. Look at this, the two of them go off. Out goes John Bowe. Thomas Mazira's locked up. Let's have a look at this. There's Scaife, went out into the side of John Bowe. Mazira also became involved in that. He's trying to turn it. He's bogged it down. Bowe's going nowhere. He's just up to his hocks in it. Set to run now. Race 2, round 2 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship, and Mark Scaife lights up the tyres off the line. Is snaffled both sides by the Peter Jackson Falcons of Glenn Seaton and Alan Jones. They come down, and Perkins has got off, and they've had a collision here. A touch of cars. Perkins manages to split the pair of them. Jim Richards winds up with the worst part of that, and they go either side as Dick Johnson and John Bowe take off. 20 seconds behind the field after putting new tyres.
Look at driver
Neil Crompton's gone off.
And who else is there? One of the Peter Jackson Falcons. We can't tell whether that's Jones or Seaton at this stage. It's Glenn Seaton.
Light's about to turn to green. Off the start. Johnson wins it momentarily. Yes, he does, and Peter Perfect sticks the nose in there and goes into the wall and goes in with Longhurst.
Not too perfect today.
No, that wasn't the best of starts for Peter Brock, and there's one Neil Shembry, I think, at the tail of the pack there, is trying to get around. You don't often see mistakes off a start line here, but they exit the carousel. Dickie Johnson, the leader, over Glenn Seaton in car number 1. John Bowe is third. Next is Alan Jones, followed by Larry Perkins, and the two Whitfield cars, Mark Scaife and Jimmy Richards, are fairly close.
Well, the high hopes of the Brock fans slumped right on the start line, and they are still there. The Longhurst car blocking the track.
This will be a red flag. They can't possibly let the...
They've already got the red out of
Decision's been made.
The red is out at the top of the hill. Andy Raymond will be down there with Peter Brock and Tony Longhurst. That's a terrible start for Longhurst.
We haven't seen anything like this in a Shell race for many, many years. Everybody very...
Listen to the crowd reacting here. Most of that reaction, mind you, was for Dick Johnson beating Glenn Seaton off the start. And then Seaton was slow to start. Look at this on the Tui's red replay. There goes Brocky. Goes out, turns right, dead set in front of Tony Longhurst. Alan Jones. May have even been a touch in there. So there is the field now for the Peter Jackson dash with Wayne Gardner on pole. Glenn Seaton alongside. Row 2, Scaife and Larry Perkins in the back row. Peter Brock, John Bowe off the start, and there's Scaife. Pulls one straight between them. Seaton has muffed the start. Gardner will win the start into the first corner, but he'll have to hug it in tight here because Mark Scaife will go around the outside of him, which he does and loses it.
Dicey
the
move.
Impetuous Mark got into all the dust. The crowd has just erupted here in the grandstand. That's the second off this morning. And the rest of them say bye-bye.
He's out of it now.
Well, he's out of the dash. That won't really affect his chances later today. But Wayne Gardner, there's Mark Scaife in the Winfield Commodore trying to get it back on track again. Now it's fired. Gardner comes down the hill, leading from Larry Perkins and John Bowe.
Keep in mind, too, these guys, let's have a look on the Tui's red replay. I don't know if there was any contact there, but it was pretty tight coming through that turn 1. Scaife round and around and around, about 3 or 4 360s off in the dust. And keep in mind, too, Scaife's on his race tyres, so they'll have all sorts of rubbish on them now.
Only 10 seconds away from the start, and they're racing off the line. Glenn Seaton wins the start. One of the few he's done all season, and Scaife's down on the grass, trying to get through, and it's gone, and so is Tony Longhurst.
We've
Wait
had
to
this
check whether
before.
that is Mark.
It's Mark Scaife.
Oh, he had a wheel on the dirt down there. That is not the way they wanted to finish the grand final. Tony Longhurst gets going in the Benson and Hedges car. Little over anxious, and that'll bring him onto the racetrack again. But I'll tell you what, the field has bolted, and look at them up at the start. Set to go. Racing. Perkins wins it by a country mile, and Jimmy Richards goes down the outside, but that's no passing routine to make it into the first corner, because Gardner switches right across the racetrack to cover the bets and goes in, but he's probably gone in a bit on the deep side. Crompton in amongst them. Dick Johnson is there, and Larry Perkins fishtailing as he comes out of there. And we've had one of the PJ cars go off. It's Glenn Seaton, the number 30 car. He is having a terrible day, almost as woeful as last year. Those two Shell FAI Falcons sit on the front row. John Bowe, pole, Dick Johnson alongside. Time to go for sprint racing at Mount Panorama. John Bowe's buried it. Dick got away smartly as they headed off the line. But they're side by side. Brock made a big move there, tried to get up amongst them, and Perkins came up smartly.
Oh, the two Coke cars. I don't believe it.
And Wayne Gardner and Neil Crompton come together in the first turn.
I think we better have another look at that one.
Five seconds away from the start now. Larry Perkins needs to get off to a good start from the line here. Jim Richards will be quick. In the Winfield Commodore, they get going. Perkins bobbles it a little bit, but Richards tries to move over. And John Bowe from the second row gets down, is spun, hits one of the Coke machines, goes around sideways, and almost backs it into the wall. So John Bowe has got major problems.
Can you believe that? The critical round of the championship, and look at the way his day started. Damage, big damage there to Shell 18 Falcon, only 100 metres after the start. Red flag is out.
Check them on the replay here. There's the touch of cars. Bowe was down the inside, got a touch from behind. He went across, got the first of the Coke machines, and then slid out of harm's way. About 5 seconds away from the start. Race one of the grand final at Sydney's Oran Park Raceway. Bowe versus Brock. And Seaton right behind them. They're off. Brock loses the start. Seaton picks up a gear, goes down the inside of him. Netting on the inside comes Tony Longhurst as they make the run down to the left-hander. The long straight at Oran Park. There's a left-hand kick and then down to a sharp left-hander. Brock tries to square it off with Seaton. Bowe's in front. Seaton will get second into that turn. Brock is third, and they were then followed by Dickie Johnson.
Paul Romano all out of shape in the middle of the pack there. They're all darting left, right, trying to get around him. The pack gets through cleanly. That's a miracle.
Well, a boo-boo there for the privateer, the young boy, but he'll be able to get out of there with some assistance as the rest of the cars go through.
Seconds away now from the start of Heat 1 for the third time in 96. Our championship leader, Craig Lowndes, on pole position, but look who's alongside him. Alan Jones, the first time on the front row for the pack leader Ford. They get the green light. Jones gets a great start, but Lowndes much stronger as they leap off the line and leads the pack into the first turn. And Larry Perkins, and I think it's the second pack leader car of Paul Romano, have tangled right back in the pack. You can see them flying across the pit exit road. Let's have a look at that on replay again. You can see the pack shuffling around. Bang, there's a collision there. I think Wayne Gardner caught up in that as well. Seconds away now, just waiting for the starter. Hand in the air with less than 10 seconds from the start of Heat 3. Holden Racing Team, front row. Glenn Seaton could split them off the second row. And look at Wayne Gardner out there on the second row. They get the green light. Very strong start once again from Craig Lowndes. Jumps in front of his teammate. Seaton locks into third position. Gardner's in fourth. There goes Dick Johnson leaving his starting position from pit lane at the back of the pack. And Gardner's gone around. A big spin from Gardner through the Bridgestone loop.
He's taken somebody with him.
So one of the Castrol cars.
It's Larry.
Car 11, Larry Perkins. So, oh, goodness me. Every time Wayne Gardner looks like he's getting toward the front of the field, something happens. Damage. Front left rear corner. Let's look at that again on race cam replay. There's Longhurst Castrol Falcon in front of him as they come through Bridgestone Loop. And you can see Gardner there, whether he was pushed or whether he spun, not sure, but he's coming across the track and kapow! Larry's race cam in the front spoiler of the Castrol Commodore finishes off the replay for us. big impact there.
Overtaking in motor racing is never easy, especially when the driver in front will do anything and everything he can to stay there. Sometimes the challenger is able to get past cleanly. Sometimes the man in front is able to hang on to his position. But other times it's simply a case of 2 into 1 just won't go.
Oh, Alan Jones gives more than a little tap.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
That was a savage one.
Yeah.
That was Parnelli Jones type driving. One tap, and if you're not out of my way, you just get another one.
I don't think there was too much backing off in the pit.
Look at this.
Car. Now they're 3 wide as they come through the sweeper. 250 kilometres an hour. Wayne Gardner ducks down the inside of Alan Jones, and Thomas Mazzera joins the battle up. So there's 3 of them locking brakes. This is incredible.
Alan Jones and Wayne Gardner.
Yes, he's not...
Oh, there goes
Jones.
Gardner.
He's given Gardner a tap as well.
Well, I don't disagree with that one. I think Gardner was absolutely cheeky there, and Jones was showing style of his, what won his world championship for him. Real aggressive driving.
And I think he's...
If you want this track, take it from me, is what he's saying. A right-hander, another jab on the accelerator down to the right-hander here. I got my rights and my lefts mixed up there. Right-hander here onto the main straight.
Oops!
Yep, I've had enough of it.
Watch out for Jonesy! And Jonesy finishes off Thomas Mazzera. Scaife goes round. Brock tries to get back through the infield. Alan Jones has had a problem.
I'm sorry, John Ball lost his patience there, and this is going to be the type of thing that is just going to infuriate the field. A fellow like Mazzera becomes a victim of an event which just isn't really on the cards. Definitely an unsporting move there by John Mao. Quite untypical, but he was just getting so frustrated behind the Winfield car that in that slow right-hander coming onto the straight, he gave him something to think about.
There'll be plenty of heat in the pits, let me tell you. Here's a replay, as you can see. Bao gives him a tap.
Well, he doesn't back off, Mike. It's more than a tap. He's laid into him and just constantly pushed him. There's Mark Scaife looking out the window saying, "What the hell are you doing, mate?"
So JB gets him around. Brock goes for the infield.
Brocky lucky to miss him. Larry was chasing exactly the same thing with his Castrol Commodore. Had a good run at Phillip Island. And then...
Oh, Thomas. No, it was Wayne Gardner.
No, I think Larry lost it by himself.
And caught Jimmy Richards on the way out.
So Gardner gives him a tap onto the way into the corner, but failed to get away with it. Another one's cleaned him up. Look at the damaged bodywork on the 16 car. Captain Chaos, they call him. Wayne Gardner's in trouble again.
Let's have a look. There, you saw it on our replay. He tapped into the back of Larry, put him around. Now watch this. Then Wayne gets on the gas, loses, then Jimmy Richards comes by. And he... that's really not what the boys at GM want to see, them knocking each other out.
Melee City. But saying to field 2 cars, start them, finish them well. Finish
that's very close. There's been 3 or 4 body contacts there. Now has looped it.
He's lost his cool.
That's the championship.
Cheesed off with the move there on Seaton and took out his frustration with a little bump. It was a premature bump. It wasn't going to gain him anything.
Oh, look, and he almost sends Larry Perkins off into the bridge abutment there.
Might have a problem with the wheel here on the right-hand front.
Well, he's
have a look.
He's just handed it to them. Any chance of...
So, bang. And then another one.
Yes, he's climbed up perhaps on the inside wheel and then spun it around.
He certainly came very, very deep under brakes.
But Johnson's around, and Larry Perkins, you'll catch on our next shot, has moved right up behind Alan Jones. We've got a fabulous race going here for second. There's John Bow down the inside, and he spun Seaton.
There we go.
Seaton will hang on to it, though. There'll be no damage there, I don't think, unless he's done a tyre, but he may have bogged it.
He's got to keep it running.
So John Bow, car number 18, moves 1 spot up. He'll get the Wayne Goss medal, John Bow, at the end of today's proceedings, but he might have done a little bit of damage to the front spoiler on this. In fact,
he's limping.
He is limping, and Jones, he's got a flat tyre, as you can see there. So Alan Jones will come up now to take over second as Paul Morris.
Oh, here's another one.
There's Thomas Mazzera, fastest part of the circuit.
Shocker.
So Thomas Mazzera's gone off there as John Bow limps back to the pits. Not the best of days for the Holden racing team.
This is, now John's really got himself in a problem. He'll limp back.
He's got to get back to the pits, and he's trying to do it as gingerly as possible.
That was Paul Morris coming through at the speed of light. They just touched, and it just shows how vicious these cars can get when they get out of shape. Mazzera really bounced the wall.
There's the order. There's Wayne Gardner going through. We'll check this out on the Tui's replay. Down the inside. John Bow commits, taps. There goes Seaton. He's on his way, Glenn Seaton. He's got everything locked up, trying to keep it on the black stuff. John Bowe knows what he's done. He's already probably popped the tyre there anyway. Frustrated, maybe even a disgruntled car. And here's the race cam, the replay again, the touch from behind. Seaton looks out and says, what the hell are you doing? Once again, another Tooheys Red replay. The action's coming thick and fast at Lakeside.
Here it is. Here comes Morris coming through in the Diet Coke car. And look at Mazira trying to squeeze around there. That was no room. He's clipped Bowe, gone sideways, fastest part of the circuit, and slams into the guardrail.
It hasn't been the best of days for the Holden racing team. And if John Crennan's got a bit of a budget left, he's going to have to use it in the next 7 days, because Peter Brock's already wound up in the guardrail and Thomas Mazira is in there as well. Problems here at Lakeside. Neil Shembry is our race leader. Oh, and he's dropped oil. Johnson's just gone out. Jones has gone out sideways. He's dropped a layer of oil. And there goes Wayne Gardner through. There's cars everywhere. Shembry came down the hill.
Oh, what a pity for Dick.
And Johnson has had this one, you would say, close enough to second place.
Robbed.
But that was Shembry coming down. He's obviously lost an engine, dropped everything out on the racetrack, and they've all come down the hill.
Worst possible place, Mike.
I don't think I'll bother with an interview.
No.
That's just one of those racing incidents that happens. Dick, that's a cruel blow. A cruel blow, Dick.
Yeah, cruel blow, all right. Jesus Christ. You believe it?
Well, exactly. I mean,
they let those old smoulders in here, mate, when you try and have a real race, and that's what happens.
Yeah, you're not the only one affected by it as well.
No, I know that.
Anyway, we feel sorry for you because you gave Australia a hell of a ride here today, son.
Well, that's the best I can do on the day, Mike. I suppose that's it, eh?
You've done a hell of a job.
Oh, well, the poor old dear needs a bit of a tart up before the next one.
I'd say so.
But anyway.
All right.
There's a mark of a champion where he can take it on the chin and still have a smile.
Let's have a look at this on our Tooheys replay. Tooheys Red replay. Shembry has blown an engine coming down the hill. He hasn't got into his own oil, but he's left, I'd say, bucket loads there. Perkins got through, but watch what happens behind. Johnson hit the oil. He goes into the wall. Next one in was Alan Jones, who was able to save it. Next one up was Jimmy Richards. Mark Scaife got through, and going into the wall also, I'm not sure if that was Crompton or Wayne Gardner, but has taken out a number of cars. From our race cam view, Tooheys Red replay again. This is Dick Johnson. He's hit the oil. There's nothing but smoke.
He couldn't see the oil, Mike. That was the problem there. He just didn't have a chance, whereas the other fellows coming on behind him, the smoke had cleared and they may have been able to see a bit on the road.
Oh, that was the rest of it. There's cars going every way. Jones was fortunate. He was able to shut it down and get back onto the racetrack. Yes, and the 7 Network, 7 News will be covering that throughout. There's JB, and there around goes Brocky. Jim goes to the rough. That was just a case of the freight train, if you like, had a little hiccup there. Brocky will light up the tyres here, gets it around sideways. That gave the fans a bit of a thrill up there.
Wayne Gardner holding off Dick Johnson, who's determined to let us know through Dunlop Race Cam what it's all about. Down over the Dipper dog leg. He's going to have a go at him here. Ooh, careful, mate. This is dicey.
Oh, there's been a touch, and around he goes. Wayne Gardner gets pushed off. The crowd goes crazy. And, boy, there'll be steam coming out of his ears right now.
As we check them on the Tooheys Red replay, he came in here on the inside. The first touch is about here.
Yeah, a little bit tough there. The real estate, there's only enough room, and Wayne was watching the fence as he should have, and Dick trying to squeeze by on the inside. An unfortunate incident.
Well, Larry, you can just see how busy he is as he climbs right onto the back of Johnson. You wouldn't be able to put a cigarette paper between the two cars that time around.
Some of these corners.
We'll let you concentrate, Larry. Talk to you in a sec. I just didn't want to be talking to him and have him overrun Johnson.
He was going a big try under brakes. He snuck right past, but Johnson's still got that racing line down the inside of the hairpin. He's better positioned. This is almost an identical situation to Heat 1.
Yeah,
Johnson gives him a little bit more racing room this time. No panel damage here. And Larry lives to fight another day. That was almost an identical situation to what got him into trouble in Heat 1. So he tucks in for the draft behind Shell 17 for another run down to Coca-Cola corner. Johnson goes very close to the
He's
inside.
gone.
Breaks and he's
Gone.
going to leave it.
Now Perkins up the inside and misses him. So Johnson, who was very wishy-washy the lap before.
Good judgment on Larry's part there. You saw, you would have seen Dick tap the brakes in the middle of the right-hander, the fast part. He was just bringing his pedal pressure up. Obviously, Larry had worked him over into the hairpin and worried him. Dick just pressed a little bit too hard and cut short. That's what happens when the balance is wrong. Too much brake on the rear. Enough heat in the tires now, Gary, for them to actually absorb a little bit of dampness.
Oh, Alan Jones gets right out of shape. He's gone off on the grass.
Beautifully controlled. Absolutely beautifully controlled. He knew he'd lost it. But boy, did he hang on to that car in a place where it could have gone off very nastily.
It was terrific control. That really is a concrete and Armco tunnel through there. Kept it off the walls and will survive to fight the first heat. Here's the battle at the front.
I think Larry's doing a very fine job here this afternoon. This is an extreme.
Oh, this been attacked!
He's gone, and it had to happen.
If he saves it, if he gets
Watch out, if there's more to come in the next turn. Watch Johnson.
Up the inside, and Brock's on the outside.
That's exactly what I've said. See, this has been on.
Well, that's Dick definitely throwing his tail out there at Brocky. And
well, it only had to happen. The pressure, lap after lap after lap. Longhurst getting tapped out. Just a little bit of contact there at a very fast part of the course, and Brow was out of it. Tui's blue replay. Look at this. Longhurst just tries to sneak up on the inside. Pow!
See, he had to stay in it. It was cheeky of him to hit John. It was inexcusable, but by the same token, he had to stay in it. Otherwise, it could have created a heck of a T-bone situation. That's Heffernan in the price attack Commodore.
Phil Ward, I think, in the Nokia car, and just sticking out there front there, David Attard in the Alcar entry as well. There may be even more cars involved.
Yellow flags up, green flag saying okay from this boy's point of view.
Attard gets out, and
falls out.
Paul Romano, who that's another part of the track. He's okay as well. But those cars parked in a precarious part of the track. The yellow flags will be waving furiously. The race continues. John Bowe in control, Peter Brock in second. First, the Peter Jackson cars in third as they come past the crash site right now.
Well, John Bowe's obviously made the right tyre choice at this moment, but of course that might tend to change as the race unfolds.
All of these fellows have to settle down very quickly, Gary, and if they don't get into their rhythm and their nursing rhythm, because 39 laps around here, there isn't a tire made in the world that can be just hammered into the ground lap after lap. They'll have to be a little bit careful with them.
We're certainly watching John Bowe's progress. Right behind him, Peter Brock on what he calls the bedrock specials. Very, very hard Bridgestone tyres, the hardest he can get on the car. And he's convinced that it's going to be very tough around here today. Which
means that Bowe's really got to make a break on Brock to get away. Otherwise, when these tyres of Brock's come into play, he's going to start bridging the gap. Let's see the Prang again. Oh, look, they've gone every which way here. There were 4 cars in. Oh, no, Romano missed it as he went through. So that was good luck for him. But the other 3 have all ended up there in the wall on the left. There have been a couple of bad Prangs there over the years here at Lakeside.
Whoa!
Brock's off again.
It's Brock again.
And that's a hard hit.
2 times. Oh, and there's someone else involved. Scape as well. Dear, oh dear. Brand new car from Gibson Motorsport there. Very badly crumpled. Brock's in there too. And race cam graphically showed you crunching the wall. Big time. Let's have a look at that again on our race cam. Scapes in front. Brock goes to the outside to go through turn 2. Back through the gears. We can't really see Scape. But Brock's trying to go around the outside. Working pretty hard at the wheel. And everything looks like it's in order here.
Looks like he's going around Skater there.
Was that a contact there, Brad? Yep, bang.
Yep, with the
Seaton. And then crunch. It looks like Scapes hit him right in the side. And Brock is off. He's a passenger now. And crunch.
Wow, look at his head.
Neck, yeah. Neil Crompton in second position. And boy, if he can bring this one home, that'll put him on the front row for the final heat under lights. But gee, he's going to have to fight for this every inch of the way. Alan Jones closing in on the bumper of the Coke Commodore. 2 laps to go. No shortage of horsepower either from the pack leader Ford.
No, the cars are definitely strong. And Jones is just a couple of tenths faster than Crompton. So it's going to be an interesting couple of laps. So he's gone down the inside.
Talk about interesting. There's going to be fisticuffs here. They're going to touch it. Jones goes around.
Oh.
Oh dear, oh dear. There's all sorts of damage to the bodywork of this brand new Falcon. He won't like that.
Well, that could have very nearly ended in big tears. And Jonesy's got a problem now. He can't go. There's gravel out the front there, and he's just not too sure whether to go through it or not. Here we go.
And again on the replay, pack leader.
What's your rear brake slot?
And he's lost it. Crompton. You can see the flame out there. He's off the throttle, just turning the front end. He managed to survive, but Jones now.
That little hiccup before cost them 2 seconds. So, you know, it's a very difficult thing, and they'll be aware of it, though. Gardner's run wide there. He's gone across the top of the hill just a little bit too hard, and that's given Bauer a little bit of breathing room. And, of course, Brock's just dived straight into that hole.
And Seaton's taken advantage too. He follows Brock through, and we look back on race cam. Gardner's been left high and dry.
And held up Mark Scaife to boot.
Looks like Scaife pulling out for passing manoeuvre too. Now Seaton has been able to take advantage. Oh, he's given Brock a tap into the fence. Goodness me.
Oh, there was a definite contact there.
Right up behind Brock, a chicane coming onto the straight. Dear, oh dear.
Brock will be, he's having such a bad year. It's just so unfortunate.
See if there was contact there on the...
Had to be.
No doubt about that.
Bit of a nudge there from the Ford Credit Falcon. Crunch.
Because you've got so much attitude on the car there, it doesn't take much of a tap to send you off. You're trying to change your car and get it to come back the other direction. Here we go.
Well, he's letting him know here. Leans on him. Bit of body contact there. Bit of elbowing.
Now, Craig could be the big winner out of this.
Yeah, he is the big winner too, because that's mucked up Scaife's run out of that corner.
Both of them.
Oh, there's been a contact there. Bauer coming across to cover his tracks. Contact between him and the Mobil 1.5 Commodore.
That's the best snooker shot you've seen in your life.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone spinning onto the main straight at Sandown.
Certainly not without hitting something.
Bit of damage there to the front of Craig Lowndes' car. Tells the story. Scaife, meanwhile, has been able to fight back in that instant. Look at that on replay. Scaife bulldozing his way through behind Craig Lowndes. And there's John Bauer, who's left to slide down the straight. There's John's girlfriend, Debbie, watching from the pits. Well, we've got a replay of Bauer's accident there. So Bauer and Alan Jones.
Synchronised spinning.
Synchronised spinning indeed. So there's been some sort of a coming together there. Let's see if Jones has managed to keep it off the fence.
Yes, he
Maybe
does.
not. No. A little touch there, but Bauer's got them all locked up. There's just a heap of dust. And back leader Falcon out of the running.
The horsepower is a major player here, and as we see, Larry had plenty. It'll be interesting to see how Scaife goes here against the WGR car.
There we go, race cam. Seeger holds race cam with Mark Scaife as he comes under maximum attack back, grabs another gear, puts a wheel up on the inside, and Gardner has been hit again.
Wayne just waved at the race cam.
Oh, look at the damage on the front of these cars. That went on for a long, long time. Gardner and Scaife really locked up. All sorts of drama there. And Wayne Gardner will be spitting chips.
And we thought Frank Bruno, Mike Tyson was going to be the major stink of today.
Oh, action on action. That was a major attack. Scaife charging up the inside. Gardner was not going to give in. Let's look at that on race cam. Scaife just grabs another gear. He's right over on the ripple tips. Bang! Gardner's coming around, and Scaife's right into the side of him. Plenty of damage to the front spoiler. Gardner waves at him to say, what the hell's going on? Fiberglass going everywhere. Scaife and Gardner both in the pits.
Craig Lowndes. John Bauer, though, has latched onto his tail and will not let... Oh,
he's
Lowndes is off!
And so's Bauer.
Well, that's remarkable
Big
because
accident.
there was no touch there.
That's a big accident.
Oh, it is a bad one. That is John Bauer. Now, there didn't appear to be any touch between those cars at all.
No, but I think that maybe there was some oil on the road there, or Craig has gone off and Bauer's jumped on the brakes to try and avoid the accident, and he's gone off as well. He's had a hard brake, maybe locked the brake. We won't know until we see them.
Sensation here. The first lap, the second heat. John Bauer, okay, out of the car and walking away.
I think you'll find they'll stop this, but it'll be we'll have to wait and see what happens. Not so far, and here we go. There's Craig Lowndes. Now he's just run a little wide now. Now Bauer actually did drop a rear wheel off there, so they've both run a little bit wide. Maybe not enough heat into their tyres or whatever. Very unusual for two guys running at the front to have this sort of accident by themselves at the same time. But that's thank God no one was hurt.
Well, this has really opened right up here with Craig Lowndes and John Bowyer out of action. Larry Perkins leading from... Oh, it's another one gone off on the infield. That's Brock into the wall. Oh, there's nobody hopping out the passenger side door.
And it's interesting that Glenn Seaton skipped the wall. There we go.
Oh, Dumsney. Oh, he's T-boned Mark Scaife.
And Brock almost got caught up in
Richards got through.
Oh, Mark Scaife. Has he been out of luck this year? You saw him in the wars a month ago. Similar incident with Wayne Gardner. Now he's been on the receiving end in this heat. Let's have a look at that run again. Max Dumsney just getting offline. Digs a wheel into the dirt. Someone's going to cop it. It's Scaife. Pow! Right into the V-pillar of the Sega Commodore. Scaife, boy, oh boy, he can't take a trick at Phillip Island this afternoon. This is the battle for third and fourth position, and there are crucial championship points on offer here too. So Ingle and Lowndes just about a second or two up the road from these two. John Bowyer, the reigning Shell Australian Touring Car champion, Peter Brock breathing right down his neck.
Well, John Bowyer desperate to ensure that nobody gets between him and Lowndes wherever Lowndes finishes, because he's got to stay within as close a points contact as he can with the series leader.
And JB is one of the toughest blokes to pass in the business. You watch him run around the inside line there. I mean, he's really got it down to an art. And Brock will really have his work cut out to get around JB anywhere.
Oh,
Brocky's gone.
Contact, and it's not over yet.
Oh, Bowyer gets through. Wow, miracle.
Well, a high-speed accident, under brakes, 220 kilometres an hour for that very sharp right-hander.
I thought Bowyer was gone for the world there too.
It really looked like he was going to get harpooned on the way through, but Bowyer just managed to sneak through. Longhurst went with him, and they both survived, so Brock gets right to the back of the pack. Let's look at that again on replay. Brock, frustrated over the last few laps, has a real go down the inside, but gets a little bit out of shape, taps the side of the Shell Ford.
Dropped a wheel off there.
Just dropped a wheel off the inside, and pretty lucky not to get Bowyer on the way back through there, but it was a good move. I mean, it came very close to coming off.
At V8 Championship rounds, the support acts play a very active role in keeping the fans amused between V8 races, and I can see why. Here's how some of racing's future stars like Webber, Bright, Bargwanna and Tander, to name but a few, learn what not to do.
Oh, what's let loose?
Porterich, the pole man, in all sorts of trouble. He hits the wall with a big crunch.
He hurt his car there, there's no doubt about that, and a pity off the front row. There was only 0.3 of a second between the first four cars, but he's mangled that HQ.
Dear, oh dear. He really loves his Amaru loud. Now this is getting very, very tight.
I think we'll follow this. Down again to the left-hander, under brakes as he got in. Yes, there he goes.
He's got him all right.
Well, if you want to know the benefits of race cam, there was a classic example. You were right there with Dutton.
Dutton felt he had that corner. He saw all that room on his left, and unfortunately for him, the other car came across, and he's still running.
Martin, we might have a look at this on replay. Matthew Martin to the right. Dutton dives down here on the inside. He says, my corner, but he patches the wheel. You couldn't have seen that any more clearly on race cam.
15 years Gemini Racing has been in Queensland, making it one of the longest running series.
Oh!
It's on.
That's car 91. We're looking at Ben Harburg there, crashing into the Armco. Imagine the excitement of seeing a dozen or so Space Masters howling through the kink on 6-inch cross plies. Here we have the sort of action I'm talking about.
Yep, car 34 has just banged the fence there.
Graham
He was in third place, wasn't he?
Certainly was.
Man.
And there's this year's model right behind it, so you can see that very gradual evolution of the chassis as they work through year by year.
Yep.
And Paris closes up a bit.
He's gone.
Yes.
Lost it.
Now careful.
Everyone's on the
again. Very good to keep off the grass the second time. Bit cheeky dodging in front of the other traffic.
I think that's from the Keke Rosberg School of Race Car Recovery.
It was pretty poor sportsmanship, though. He could have taken that other fellow out as he came through the S's.
Well,
but he did handle it well.
He's gathered it up, and he hasn't put a mark on the car.
Put him at the top of the honour board at the Academy.
See how close this qualifying form was. It's producing in the race again. Noski just 0.2 of a second slower than Brighton. He's really hanging on to the race. Impressive showing here from the two AMSA cars. As Neil alluded to before, this new team set up by Alan Jones with sponsorship from Agip. The two black cars here running second and third. And Mark Webber there, the man pushing through, the guy who did very well in that opening heat at Sandown in atrociously wet conditions, shuffling through and bringing up number 6 just behind Gavin Monahan.
That was a great drive.
Well, I think it's very commendable that Alan Jones, having been our world champion in 1980, with all that he's got on his plate running with Glenn Seaton to form a team like this and help young drivers that ultimately could, and with his guidance, get to Europe, Neil, and have a shot at Formula One. Alan Jones knows how tough it is to have a go.
Well, there's a whole lot of structure required to make it happen. You can't just turn up with a helmet. Mark Noske in the slipstream, trying to go low, and that's going to turn to tears.
Hang on.
Plenty of rough territory out there. Bang, as he hits all that dirt there. I wonder if he's going to come out the other side. There's a very, very rough. The cars are picking their way through. Has he gone across the other side of the circuit?
There's another one's just taken place here in front of the
No, that is, in fact, I think you'll find that is car 4. That's Noske.
Yeah, I reckon what's happened there is that he's done some damage coming back on, and he's just actually not far from our commentary point back in the start-finish area, and he will not be a happy camper. Now, Mark's been run wide. There's also marbles out there, so it's easy to lose your grip. He's into the grass. Then he attacks what is a ploughed area. It's not actually a gravel trap. And I reckon that knock that we just saw there, which brought up all the dirt, will have done some damage to the front.
Done well there.
Yep.
Get a nice fast entry.
He even came off the corner quite well. I thought he may have lost a little bit of that advantage when he came off the hairpin, but he held it. So now Taparis has the benefit of the hole that's being punched in the air by Gavin Monahan. And we'll say, oh, dear me.
He had it all right.
Another one goes straight through the shell side.
Now, he must have gone into the back of the gearbox.
Stay with it, chap.
I cannot begin to tell you how lucky he is. He didn't hit that concrete block that was 50 metres to his right. Don't back up onto the track, Con. Be careful.
One wild ride there at 200k for Con Taparis. Boy, he rode it like a bucking bronco. Managed to bring it back onto the circuit, but look at that. I think he must have split the car.
Now watch on the left, you'll see there's a concrete block. It's a marshalling point that's coming up.
Yep.
We talked about this in terms of driver safety the other day, and I frankly don't think you'll find it here in 12 months, and there it is. And if you hit that in a Formula Ford, you'll be in plenty of trouble. Thankfully, Con didn't, and hopefully the car has survived that.
Last lap as Jason Bright crosses the start-finish line, so this is the last chance for Bargwanna to make any impression on Rose here. See if they can take a leg up to 4th in this battle for 4th and 5th. Terrific scrap this.
Well, the key to this track is your brakes and your entry onto 2 key straights. And Bargwanna is going to work very hard this time to position himself in such a way that he gets a very quick exit. And that's what he's done. See how he made a little bit of ground there? Just a tiny bit. Now, if that's even only 50 revs and the advantage of the toe that he's getting, that might be enough to pull up alongside under brakes. And that's the sort of fine area that you're working in when you're dealing with someone who's of equal speed and ability.
See, that was aggressive. Out there side by side this time, well and truly, but he's
positioned on the wrong side of the road now. Oh, they are so close. Can he go around the outside? It's going to be Braves. He has. Oh, no, he hasn't.
No, both of them are gone.
Just clipped the rear wheel on his car. Meanwhile, the winner comes across, Jason Bright. It looks like Dougal McDougall has, in fact, hung on for 2nd place. 3rd place goes to Gavin Monahan. No fear from Mark Webber. He just got right into the midst of that battle there, used the aerodynamic advantage, pushed his way up to 2nd place. Couldn't do anything about Bright on the entrance to Caltex Chase that time. He's got one more lap to do it in. Tremendously evenly matched cars and drivers. Webber is going to go. Oh, we got one in big trouble. I think it's the end of Caltex Chase. Bit of fire from the gearbox.
24 that's gone upside down. That's Gary Gassani. But as you can see, Gary says that was a heck of a ride.
Very wisely out of the car in a hurry over the wall. Looking at what happened, he's happy.
That's a testament to the safety of the modern race car and indeed the track improvements here. He's hit the kitty litter and the car stopped and stepped out without a crash.
Let's have a look at this on the Tui's Blue replay. Really riding that one out. Gary Gassani, car number 24, and over she goes. That was a heck of a ride, Alan.
As we take Yellow Pages race cam aboard Mark Webber's car, and unfortunately we had rain at Phillip Island, so we couldn't really exploit this camera, but this is a fantastic view here, as you can see, alongside Webber as he runs in 3rd position through this very quick part of the circuit.
This is the fellow that came through from 8th place at Phillip Island to take the lead in unbelievably treacherous conditions. I think he's just nursing his way through here. He's watching what the 2 in front of them are doing.
He looks a little quicker than these 2 guys, but he just can't quite get the run at them at the moment. It's interesting watching Bright's car. It's very taily going down under the bridge. It's taily off the top of the hill here. Let's see how it comes onto the straight. Misses the apex a little, still wagging the tail. But you're nothing between these first 3 guys.
You're a former single-seater man, Neil. How accurate is this a reflection of open-wheeler racing?
Whoa. Well, this is exactly what it looks like from the driver's seat, and that's a brilliant angle.
Jason Bright really deep under brakes there. Oh, and Webber's popped the wheel up on the outside. Jason Bargwanna's car, you can see quite graphically, he's damaged the front suspension there. And Webber is out of the race. A great disappointment for him, running third in the championship and really fighting back.
Well, that all started back at the kink when it looked to me like Jason Bright tried to round up Bargwanna and then basically successfully got away with it, and then Marks had a bit of a dive on the inside. Let's take a look at the replay. Oof.
Yes, he drove right into him, and I'm not feeling too sympathetic for him, for a bloke that excelled so well at Phillip Island. I think maybe that helmet was a little bit tight this morning.
Well, that was a graphic shot. That's exactly what it's like.
Well, here's an example of a fellow who's come into the championship for the first time this year, participated in all the shell rounds all around the country, and he's just performed leaps and bounds on himself.
Here he comes. There's not much room there, but there's
a bit of touch.
Well, a little touch. Oh, a little bang, and one of the pads that used here for the motorcycle racing has just fell over. There's Kevin Heffernan going through.
Yellow flags waving.
Paula Elstrick, the pole sitter in car number 20. Lap times around 1:37. A hot day here at Eastern Creek, and the girls no doubt feeling the pinch. Oh, and we've got one sideways, the first moment in the Mazda 121 Challenge.
Carolyn Peterson in car number 12. Oh, hello, 01 as well, joining in the action.
That's not my wife, is it? That's how she drives.
No, that's Karen Brewer.
And a dust of smoke is what remains, and probably 3 or 4 cars paying the penalty just at the end of the main straightaway.
04, Wendy Gibbs also involved in that mix-up, so we've lost 3 or 4 cars as we see it in a replay. 02 may have escaped the worst of the damage there.
Karen Brewer there in the Shell Helix 01 car. Tanya Golson in car 2. I think you'll find Carolyn Peterson in the number 12 car, also part of that one. The Mazda 121s are up next here at Symonds Plains. This is what happened last month at Sandown. Tanya Golson, a real ride on the wild side, upside down. And Tanya is A-OK and competing as one of 13 girls in this Mazda Challenge.
The action isn't always called by the team in the commentary box, but the cameras still keep rolling. Check this out.
To Lakeside Raceway, heart-stopping action in the Slick 50 Formula Ford race today. Scotty Bargwanna, car number 20, up and over, launched at the end of the main straight. Look at this for a terrifying ride. Over and over and into the sand trap, the gravel trap. Another car off with him, lucky not to roll straight over the top and the top of the other one that was already parked there. But fortunately, all the drivers, Scotty included, walked away unharmed.
During the early years of the V8 series, they had a separate round of the Touring Car Championship at Bathurst. Some of the drivers weren't too keen on the idea of going sprint racing on the mountain. And as we can see, some of them had very good reasons to be worried.
That's the way they finished. It was John Bowe, Brock Gardner and Lowndes in the first 4 positions in Heat 1. Dick Johnson now has got the jump on Glenn Seaton. He'll follow this quartet down as Brock. Repeating what he did in Heat 1, looking left, looking right, trying to find a gap round John Bowe. Look at this bit of deja vu on the outside. Nothing he can do there.
Oh, Brock really applying the pressure to Bowe early in the second heat. He's not going to leave his run too late. He's got to apply the pressure, try and get past Bowe here and now and set up a...
Oh, there's been a call! Between Gardner and Gardner. Goodness me, Gardner came right across. He spun down the escape road. Gardner's headed off onto the pit entry lane.
contact between the two cars, and absolute mayhem broke loose there. I think everyone else managed to get through. Gardner's back into the race. Sorry, Lowndes back into the race. Gardner's stuck by the side of the road, but I don't think Lowndes' car looks too healthy.
No, it's not going to keep going for too long. What an incident coming right to the bottom of...
That's a flat tyre there, Gary.
Yeah.
Look at that on the replay again. Now Lowndes is moving across. Pow! Just makes contact with the Coke Commodore.
Hoo-ha!
And then this is 200 kilometres an hour sliding out of control. Lowndes goes left. Gardner goes right, ploughing through that big sand trap. Lucky not to dig in. Goodness me.
Big left turn by Craig Lowndes. We see it again from race cam.
Well, look at the way the field were able to pick through there. Lowndes spun right across the path of Dick Johnson's car and off into the sand trap down the escape road.
Trying to see through a fogged windscreen at more than 200 k's on a slippery track. It's a little wonder that V8 supercar drivers aren't great fans of wet weather racing, when visibility and grip levels are desperately low, but there is still 600 horsepower to play with. You know to expect fireworks.
Back out on the circuit again.
Here's Perkins in the slide.
He's finally done it. He's going to back it out there, but he doesn't need to take it any further because he will bury it. It's buried.
He's gone. It reminds me of a certain Sierra one year, Michael. I don't know whether we should...
AMOBE, as I recall.
Yes.
The other end of the circuit when the rains came halfway through the race, or a quarter of the way through the race. Who will win the race to the first turn? I tell you what, it might well be the Rainmaster, Jimmy Richards, who gets off at Crompton. Down the inside of Scaife and John Bow the outside. They've shuffled him out. Look at this. The two of them go off. Out goes John Bow. Thomas Mazira's locked up.
Well, that was a little unnecessary. A beautiful start by Jim Richards. We thought he might have this on his mind after the coming second in the first heat. Great run by Crompton to hold second place at the moment. But three of our top cars out in the sand on the opening lap. Not very sporting driving.
Well, Jimmy Richards, let's have a look at this. There's Scaife, went out into the side of John Bow. Mazira also became involved in that. He's trying to turn it. He's bogged it down. Bow's going nowhere. He's just up to his hocks in it.
He's closer now than he's been. He might try it this time.
Oh.
Yes, he might. He's got him.
He's going to do it. There's no place to go there, so Gardner will go through. Crompton comes back on the inside of him to see if he can get down the inside of him again. Gives him a tap. That gives him a spin.
That was uncalled for. I'm sorry.
Gardner's hand goes up.
Well, he's every reason to be extremely cheesed with that, Mike. He was worked away steadily, didn't but hardly tap Neil once. Worked his way hard up, nailed him justly under brakes, and I think that was uncalled for by Neil Crompton.
Here we go. He already had the hand out the window, Wayne Gardner, to say, hey.
I don't get my vote on that one. I certainly sympathise with Wayne Gardner in that move.
To make it into the first corner, because Gardner switches right across the racetrack to cover the bets and goes in, but he's probably gone in a bit on the deep side. Crompton in amongst them. Dick Johnson is there, and Larry Perkins fishtailing as he comes out of there. And we've had one of the PJ cars go off. It's Glenn Seaton, the number 30 car. He is having a terrible day, almost as woeful as last year.
From fireworks on a wet track to real fireworks, fire is the dread of every racing driver. And thankfully today's safety systems are very efficient when it comes to saving the driver from burn injuries. So keep an eye out on the marshals, and we've thrown in a very expensive one as well.
Dick, we'll let you go for a moment. We've got a problem here with the Komatsu car of Kevin Waldock.
Boy.
He was running so hot, he's actually smoked the wheels and tyres off the car.
Kevin was running 15th, I think it was. Now the tyres on fire.
You picked a fine time to leave me loose. Well, yes, we've heard that one before.
So we can get that one out. Bit of a barbecue on the infield. Whoa, goes off at his face.
Have a look at this and see what happened. He lost it when the wheel and tyre left.
Gonna have to do a little rethink there.
That doesn't happen. You don't see that all that often.
Well, and they must have the temperatures under control with the Shell FAI V8 engines, Alan. He hasn't ducked out of his draft one for the last 3 or 4 laps. Oh, there's a big fire here. It looks like Alan Jones.
Boy, that one's going. They better get a fire truck down there faster. That's going to be one car down the drain.
There's a big barbecue on here. Jones is out of the car, but you can see flames. This car is going to be engulfed in fire very, very quickly.
This is going to be a write-off in about another 3 seconds.
Jones, no onboard fire extinguisher system in these cars, and there is absolutely nothing he can do about it.
Where's the fire truck?
There's nobody inside to come to the assistance, so this is here we are.
Well, that's pretty good, but
There's going to be a lot of damage.
Fast.
Yeah, a lot of damage under the bonnet of that car. It's probably gone through to the interior as well, and they're having a lot of trouble getting under control. Volatile fuel or oil mix, just spraying the foam on it. And boy, they're going to have to get in there quickly because that thing will take hold.
It's got a bite underneath the car.
And down the hill, but he's got any number of challenges there as they come in to complete the first of 12 laps here at Lakeside.
Here we have one. We had one. He's lunched it through the kink in the main straight. He's hit the wall. Two of them involved there. A fire. Can't see the number yet, but a 911. 55.
David Eckert.
Okay, and Hayes in number 70. They've obviously clipped each other coming through the kink at the fast left-hander in the kink. And that wall's done duty today for the first time. Well, the first time ever. These fellas are all handling their cars very professionally, driving very competently, and I think I may have maligned them by referring to them as gentlemen drivers.
And to end, there's always a few classic moments.
Whoa!
Oh, there's a dog!
It's all happening here. There's a dog on the racetrack. Very lucky not to get hit by the cars coming through that time around. Marshall's trying to grab him. This is a very dangerous moment.
Dick Johnson didn't make the front row. He had problems yesterday. An errant tyre came down and rearranged the front of the FAI Falcon. And that tyre continued halfway across Mallala and almost nailed Alan Jones. Dick Johnson was very, very unimpressed once the tyres removed, as do a lot of the other competitors. And our very own Doug Mulray, trying to get into the local culture, is with Dickie Johnson.
Who is the Romans? Clearly this isn't Rome, no, ladies and gentlemen. This is Caboolture. Is that the correct pronunciation? Caboolture, home of Lakeside and home of the safari suit. What? The kilt is to Scotland, the safari suit is to Queensland, ladies and gentlemen. This is the state regalia, the official state regalia. And I've chosen to wear this fine example of this style, and I use the term style advisedly, because I want to blend in with the locals. I want to disappear into the background. In Queenslander, can be very, very parochial, very unpleasant. Nothing he enjoys more than taking the mickey out of the unsuspecting, the unwitting tourists from down south. Those people from down south. So I thought I'd take the time to consult Queensland favourite son, fashion guru, Dick Johnson, to tell me just how to blend, how to disappear. You think I'll merge in with the background? You think I'll chameleon away in this outfit, do you think?
Dr. Livingston, I presume.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Eh? And I love the pockets, don't you? The safari suit is a fantastic item. You've got plenty of pockets to conceal all those things you need up here in the tropics. The Tinoderm for the foot rot, the D-gas for the old tummy trouble after you've had a bit too much pineapple, the Anusol wipes. Just about everything you need up here you can conceal in the many pockets.
You're going to need all of the above in Caboolture, I can
That's enough for the Broncos, yeah. And the accessories, Dick, you said the accessories were important. And they are. See, with the right chains and the right shoes and the right hat, you see, you'll have the
long enough, your colour will change enough so you can wear all that.
Absolutely, you can even take this off and tan up the solar panel for the sex machine, couldn't you, Dick? Anyway, what do you say, mate? What do you reckon after the race today? You and I put on our safari suits and go out and upend a bit of local talent. What do you reckon?
I hate to disappoint you, but my safari suits are the cleanest.
Oh, that's a pity.
You're on your own.
I'm off. Stand back. Nice pin to pass me.
Oh, dearie me, Doug Mulray. I tell you, motorsport is never going to be the same on the 7 network.
How could we forget the classic Network 7 openers for the telecast? The scripts were always magic.
After working the wide open spaces at some really big places, the Shell Super League V8s today take to the fastest short course in the nation. Brisbane's Lakeside Raceway has spooked countless drivers over the years with its straight line speed, reverse camber corners, and lack of bunkers. When you get it wrong here, the panel shop is the next stop. After dominating the 4th round action of Penguin Paradise, Glenn Seaton and Alan Jones have travelled north, confident of spoiling Dick Johnson's 50th birthday celebrations. However, the Queensland sporting icon has a love affair going with the Lakeside layout and may prove too hot for his V8 rivals, including teammate John Bauer, who continues to lead the Shell Series from Peter Brock, Larry Perkins, Glenn Seaton and Thomas Mazzera. The 7 Network welcomes you to the Brisbane Action Track and round 5 of Australia's premier motorsport series, the Shell National Touring Car Championship.
Oh, he's off! And so's Bauer.
Well, that's remarkable.
Big
There
accident.
was no touch there.
It's a big accident.
Oh, it is a bad one.
Oh, this one he's gone. It had to happen. Oh, here's another one. There's Thomas Mazzera, fastest part of the circuit.
Yocker.
Oops.
I've had enough of it.
Watch out for Jonesy. And Jonesy finishes off Thomas Mazzera. John Bauer from the second row gets down his spun. Hits one of the coke machines, goes around sideways. Look at this. The 2 of them go off. Out goes John Bauer.
And you can see Gardner there, whether he was pushed or whether he spun, not sure, but he's coming across the track and kapow! Place to the
He's gone.
Brakes and he's
gone.
moving.
Now Perkins up the inside and misses him.
Talk about interesting, there's going to be fisticuffs here, they're going to touch it, Jones goes round. It's Brock, into the wall.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, he's T-boned Mark Skate. Oh, there's been a call. Gardner. Goodness me, Gardner came right across. He spun down the escape rope. Gardner's headed off onto the pit entry lane.
Perkins fishtailing as he comes out of there. And we've had one of the PJ cars go off. It's Glenn Seaton.
Let's have a look at that again on our race cam. Scaife's in front. Brock goes to the outside to go through turn 2. Back through the gears. We can't really see Scaife. Brock's trying to go around the outside. Working pretty hard at the wheel. Everything looks like it's in order here.
Looks like he's going around Skater there.
Was that a contact there, Brad? Yeah, bang.
Yep, with the
Seaton. And then Crutch looks like Scaife's hit him right in the side. And Brock is off. He's a passenger now. And Crutch.
Wow, look at his head.
Neck, yeah.
As our race leader. Oh, and he's dropped oil. Johnson's just gone out. Jones has gone out sideways. He's dropped a layer of oil. And there goes Wayne Gardner through. Oh, and there goes
Jones.
Gardner.
He's given Gardner a tap as well. Well, I don't disagree with that one. I think Gardner was absolutely cheeky there.
Alan Jones gives more a little tap.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
That was a savage one.
Which he does. Head mark got into all the dust. The crowd has just erupted here in the grandstand.
Oh, the speed of contact there. Bauer coming across to cover his tracks. Contact between him and the Mobil 1.5 Commodore.
That's the best shot you've seen in your life.